You'll notice that there's a welcoming announcement here. Where you should be right now is in this getting started portion of the course. Hopefully you've read the 5 suggestions that are given to you, and you are now watching this welcome video. Of course, on completion of the video, you will be clicking now this proceed to the course learning modules, and that's where we're going to pick up this really short navigation of the course. In the Begin Here section, you're going to note that you have 3 requirements that you must complete. You must read syllabi. The syllabi can be found in the left sidebar. And you must send an email to me stating that you understand the components of that document. Please read that document carefully. You also are going to be expected to complete a writing criteria quiz, and you are expected to complete a quiz over the first chapter of this textbook. So let's take a brief look of the Begin Here at the Begin Here section. Before we start, I want to invite you to participate in the Remind feature that is attached to this class. This is a free service. You simply have to follow the directions that are included on this PDF, and you will get text reminders to your phone, or you can get email reminders 2 to 3 days before any of the assignments, quizzes are due in this class. It's just a nice feature so that you can stay up to date on when things are due. The Writing Expectations quiz, please read this brief area, this brief bit of information here. The Department of Health and Physical Education does require that you use HPER, and you need to cite everything. Opinions need to be backed up with documented fact. So please don't fall into that trap. Remember that Valley City State has a very strict policy in academic integrity, and students that do not properly cite material are subject to those sanctions. So read through this very carefully and then complete the quiz upon that completion. Your first reading requirement in this course is Chapter 1 of your textbook. The textbook is required, and that is the history of disease. Once you have completed that, you can complete the quiz and then move on to the learning modules. There are 3 major sections of this class. The first one is your major course project. Your major course project is what's due at the end of the semester. It is something that you should be working on throughout the entire semester. It's basically broken into 3 sections. The details are laid out here. You're pointed in the right direction to gather your research. Please note there is outside research that is required. It is due on May 11th, and I do want to pull your attention to this one little section here. This requires about 11 hours of research and writing, and then probably another 2 hours of putting together the presentation. So don't wait until the last minute. That's probably setting you up for failure. So try to allow some time throughout the semester to put together this major project. You'll notice that you will submit or upload them upon completion here, the paper portion and then the presentation portion. The course itself is divided into 2 modules, an epidemiology module, which is the study of disease, and then nutrition-related issues. You can see that there are 8 course objectives here, numbered by module. The first 4 we see in the epidemiology module, and then following up with the last 4 in the nutrition-related issues. Let's take a look and step inside this major module, and you'll see that every major module then, or the 2 major modules, are divided into learning units. And we'll just take a brief look here at bacteria. You'll notice that each unit will have objectives that relate back to the course objectives. And every unit is presented in the same way. You will see a Getting Started section that tells you basically what you have to do to complete the unit, and then we see the material. Now, many of these units will have lectures that go with them. I would suggest that you download these to your computer instead of trying just to stream them. It's going to make viewing a little bit easier. In this situation, we have a wiki as well. So there's different assignments that you'll see in each of these units. And both modules are broken down in this manner. Please note that there is a link for course deadlines. And there is a PDF here that you can download. These correspond with all of the learning units that are presented in each module. I would also point out that this course does have a personal librarian attached to it. Tuya Dutton is that personal librarian for your use. There's a lot of research in this class, so I would strongly suggest that when you start working on one of your research projects, you contact Tuya either by email or by phone, or you can use the chat feature that is available at the library website. And she will point you in the right direction of where to find your research, perhaps give you some suggestions on keywords or key terms to use in your research. She'll help you with what we have available in our own library, or also assist you if you have to order things through interlibrary loan. We have a large database at our library, so most of our information we can get right here by using your computers. You just might need a little assistance on how to use those features. Your grades can be accessed in the Communication and Tools portion of the class. You will note you'll have a My Grades. I do try to get everything graded within 1 week of submission. Longer papers might take me a little bit longer, but you should be watching your grades. You will also want to look at any comments I make. Blackboard does have what we call inline grading. So when you submit a paper, I will go in and I will what we call mark it up and make suggestions within that paper on how you can improve in your next submission. For example, some of you may not include a title page, or you might have your first page formatted improperly. In the first assignment that I grade, I'm going to have a pretty minimal deduction for that. But I'm going to be making those comments on that paper. So I would expect that you would make those corrections as you move through the class. Students that don't do that will see more dramatic deductions. So don't just look at the grade, look at what comments are made on the paper that you have submitted, or any grading comments that I've made on those papers. I also will have some rubrics that I use, so be sure that you look at the comments that are in those rubrics. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can stop down in my office at Gratian Gym, or you can email me. Typically, I try to respond immediately to emails within a few hours, so that usually is the best way to get the immediate response. But any emails that are sent after 8 p.m. at night, don't expect an immediate answer to those. So if you're putting off work until the last minute and you have a question, that falls on your back and on your shoulders. So you want to make sure you don't wait till the last minute to complete your work if you are going to require some assistance from the professor. So good luck with the class. Once again, contact me with any questions.